Hi everyone, and welcome to Biology Professor. Today we're having kind of a departure from our normal format. Instead of me lecturing with a whiteboard, I'm actually going to be asking my grandmother some questions about her recollections with the disease caused by hookworm. So this is my grandmother. Her name is Doris. She was born in 1933. And so we're going to be talking a little bit about hookworm today. Some of you may have heard of hookworm before. There's over 500 million cases around the world these days, even though it is really uncommon in the United States now. It actually used to be a much larger problem, especially in the southeastern United States. Because hookworm is transmitted through the soles of the feet, so a person will walk across contaminated soil that's been contaminated by human feces, and the hookworm can actually burrow up through the soles of their feet and then enter their body and cause a pretty severe infection. And so it is something that is related to hygiene and sanitation issues. So that's why I want to talk to my grandmother, Doris, to ask, what was it like when you were growing up? So in the 1930s and 1940s, did you have indoor plumbing?
No indoor plumbing.
No indoor plumbing. So how did your family use the bathroom?
We had an outhouse.
An outhouse. Okay.
2-seater. That's in case anybody else want to come and join you.
Oh, if two people wanted to use it at once. So the outhouse, how far was it from your home?
Quite a distance.
Quite a
Probably
distance?
about 100 feet or so. Okay. Yeah.
And
you didn't want to smell up the area.
Yeah, it's really good for if you do have an outhouse for it to be quite a distance from your home, so that if there is some sort of contamination issues, you're less likely to be walking through it in your yard. Did you go barefoot a lot when you were little?
All the time.
All the time?
Mm-hmm.
She was growing up in sort of rural Arkansas in the 30s and 40s. When did your mother let you go barefoot?
We only got to go barefoot in May, June, July, and August. We could not go barefoot in a month that had an R. Okay, I never understood that, but that was my mama's rule.
Okay. So she would let you go barefoot when it was warm outside, and those were the months that didn't have an R.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever hear about hookworm when you were?
I have heard about it, yes. I don't recall anybody ever having it that I knew, but I'm sure my mom, she mentioned people that had it, but I didn't know them,
Do you feel like there was any stigma around people who had hookworm? Like, what did other people think of a person if they had hookworm?
That they were dirty.
That they were dirty, that they were walking through poop in the dirt?
Yeah, and they didn't take baths every day like they do now. Mm-hmm. If they took a bath on Saturday in the summertime, that was probably it, So, yeah, they got it from the dirt and not washing hands and, stuff like that.
Okay. And so, of course, we know today that hookworm only burrows through the feet. It doesn't really have anything to do with hand washing or how often you bathe, because the hookworm can burrow into the soles of your feet in just a couple of minutes. So you could still take a bath every day, but if you've walked barefoot through a contaminated area, then you can still get hookworm. So that just kind of goes to show some of the stigma that can be, and some of the sort of misinformation that can surround something like that. Of course, we never hear about hookworm anymore, but is there still hookworm in the United States? It turns out that there is. For a long time, it was thought that hookworm had more or less been eradicated in the United States, and now, just within the last maybe 3 or 4 years, it's been determined that there's still hookworm in especially poverty-stricken areas in the extreme southeast. We're talking about mainly, I think, Alabama and Mississippi, in very, very poor communities, again, where there's no indoor plumbing, where people have outhouses right outside their front doors. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can actually do a Google search for hookworm in the United States, and that should bring up articles for you from things like NPR and The Guardian and Fox News that will give you more information about that. But that's it for today. So I want to say thank you to my Mimi for telling us a little bit about her memories and her experiences. And thanks for watching Biology Professor. And we'll see you next time.